Speaker on. Very good. Let me push the other last couple of buttons here. Record to the cloud. All right. And we are set to go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Zazenkai for today. As you can see, it's very warm, so I am wearing my most formal black t-shirt today. This is my special, I really only use this t-shirt for Zazenkais, but it's still summer vacation here, so people are traveling. I'm glad you could join me. We have a couple of folks I know sitting from right here in Scuba who are at home, and glad that they could join us. Other folks from around the world. Let me see if I see any new faces. It just looks like old friends here, I think. Anybody first time? No. Old friends. Well, very good. Today our topic is Zen will solve all your problems, really. And you think that there's going to be a bait and switch here or something, or there's going to be some joke at the end. Slav is shaking his head. No, man, no. I mean it. By the end of today, you will know that Zen will solve all your problems thoroughly. Okay? Or your money back. What can I tell you? Tokan, you are in the music box today, I believe. Is that correct? Very good. Can I have a sound check there, Tokan? Let's hear you ring. Yeah, lovely. Very good. Well, I guess that's all systems go. If you've been here before, you know what to do. And if it's your first time, hey, enjoy. Just follow along. Okay.
The heart of the perfection of great wisdom. Sutra. Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, awaken one of compassion in Prajna Paramita, the deep practice of perfect wisdom, perceive the emptiness of all five conditions, and was free of suffering. O Shariputra, form is no other than emptiness, emptiness no other than form. Form is precisely emptiness, emptiness precisely form. Sensations, perceptions, formations, and consciousness are also like this. O Shariputra, all things are expressions of emptiness, not born, not destroyed, not stained, not pure, neither waxing nor waning, no Thus emptiness is not form, not sensation nor perception, not formation nor consciousness, no eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, no sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, nor object of mind, no realm of sight, no realm of consciousness, no ignorance, no end to ignorance, no old age and death, no cessation of old age and death, no suffering, no cause or end to suffering, no path, no wisdom, and no gain, thus Bodhisattvas live this Prajna Paramita with no hindrance of mind, no hindrance, therefore no fear, far beyond all delusion. Nirvana is already here. All past, present, and future Buddhas live this Prajna Paramita and realize supreme and complete enlightenment. Therefore know that Prajna Paramita is the sacred mantra, the luminous mantra, the supreme mantra, the incomparable mantra, by which all suffering is clear. This is no other than truth. Therefore set forth the Prajna Paramita mantra, set forth this mantra and proclaim Gate, Gate, Paragate, Parasamgate, Bodhisawaka, Anya Shingyo. Buddha nature pervades the whole universe, reality existing right here now. In reciting the heart of the perfection of Great Wisdom Sutra, we dedicate our sincere efforts to Shakyamuni Buddha, Honored One, the historical Buddha and teacher, and to those ancestral teachers, Ehe Dogen, Honored One, Soji Keizan, Honored One, all successive Honored Ones up until Zuigaku Rempo, Honored One, and Gudo Wafu, Honored One, and to all other honoured ones throughout history, same yet diverse honoured ones, whose names have been forgotten or left unsaid. We also dedicate these efforts to the three treasures, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, to all awakened ones and teachers in all places and times. We especially seek tranquility and well-being for all creatures now suffering or ill in health. May they be serene through all their ills. May their lives be at peace and wisdom pervade the darkness of ignorance. We dedicate our hopes and aspirations to all victims of war and violence and natural events, to the injured and to all families touched by these tragedies, to the healing of hatred in all countries and among all peoples, to the wisdom and compassion of our world leaders, to the peace of the world and harmony of all beings. Thus let the harmful effects of words, thoughts, and actions be dispelled, and compassion bloom in perpetual spring. May we all realize and live the enlightened way together. All Buddhas throughout space and time, all Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, Maha Prajna Paramita.
Zazen. Kinhin. We will have Zazen and a little talk about how Zen will solve all your problems. Really? No fooling? Can you guys hear me? If you can't, stand on your head, please. Very good. So the last few weeks, I've given a cycle of talks about how Zen will not solve all your problems in life. And then here I am today, suddenly telling you that Zen will solve all your problems in life. Really. So which is it? Can't make up my mind? Trying to pull a fast one? I assure you not. I've told you quite honestly that if you have a bad tooth, all your Zazen practice really won't help with that much. Oh, it might be possible to go to some deep place where the pain is not felt so much. You've hypnotized yourself, mesmerized yourself, and you're not feeling it as badly. That's what the Buddha did. I posted a little excerpt from the Parinirvana Sutta, describing the Buddha when he got old, and described himself as falling apart like an old cart, and sometimes he had to go to a very, very deep place. We can do that, but ultimately, Zen will not fix your tooth. You got to go see a dentist. I told you last week that we have to be careful about spiritual bypassing. I realized that recent economic troubles had set off something from long ago deep in me. When I was a kid, our family pretty much lost everything, and it surfaces up again, and I cannot ignore the fact. So we must not engage in spiritual bypassing. But here I am telling you that Zen will solve everything. We had folks in our Sangha just this week who came with all kinds of problems that I can't solve. I think no Zen ancestor could solve. I think even the Buddha would be of limited help on some of this. Koshi, our priest, had a pipe break in his apartment. All his stuff, not all of it, fortunately, but a lot of it, got soaked. Zen can't help with that. You got to call the plumber. Zen might be a help in being more present and accepting as the water rises up to your knees, but it's not going to fix the leak. We had someone else who's experiencing money worries and difficulties in the job hunt, and I said that Dogen provided almost no advice of any use in how to make a resume. And well, the Buddha, he never really needed a 9-to-5 job, did he? He lived with a bowl and a few robes, and that was his baseline. Now, there is some tremendous important lesson from the Buddha to us that helps when the mortgage is being foreclosed and the kids need shoes that we can't afford. The Buddha reminded us not to be attached to stuff so much. If he could live with a bowl and some robes, well, it's a good lesson to us that probably 90%, and I'm being generous, of the stuff we think we need, probably we don't need it at all. At least not as much as we think we do. My joke is that when I was a kid, we were so poor, I didn't even have an iPhone and I didn't have a computer in the house because they didn't exist. I didn't miss it. My parents grew up without TV. They didn't miss it. There was no TV. Like that. And I think that was true for hundreds and thousands of years. Cro-Magnon man had his fire. I guess for him that was enough. In any event, the Buddha did teach us that we don't need as much as we do, and to hold lightly to the things we think we desire. Now, I'm very glad that there are certain things that exist now, unlike in the Buddhist time, like modern medicine. That's wonderful. I would call that more a necessity than a luxury. And the Buddha's advice on living with a bowl and robes doesn't help too much when our kids do need shoes, and we are afraid of losing the house. That's just scary. We all need a house. We want to take care of our kids. Even the Buddha, well, his advice on not being attached, I think it only goes so far sometimes. That last 5% of things we need, we really do need. At least if we're not celibate monks, but we're people with kids and families and bills to pay. The biggest member of this Sangha that I wish I could do something about is Jinkan, who taught us so much this week as he faced his cancer and his hospital ango with such wisdom and grace. Boy, I wish I could take that away. Don't have a clue. Even if I was a doctor, I don't know what can be done. I'm sure they're doing everything they can. Can't cure that. And yet, here I am today, about to tell you that Zen will solve all your problems. All of them. Completely and absolutely. Really, no BS. I'm telling you. Or I'm about to anyway. You see, one thing I discovered over the years when I faced my scariest times in life, my greatest fears, my moments when I was looking over the edge of the precipice of my own mortality, is that what we call the refuge in the Buddha is true. A refuge means a safe place, a place that protects us from the storm. It's absolutely true. Now, we had some discussion about Amida Buddha, who's kind of a messianic Jesus-like figure, and some folks need to see Buddha that way, as someone in the sky who actually will rescue them and take them to a very safe place called the Pure Land, like a heaven. That's good. And I said, I don't take that quite so literally, but I'm telling you that the basic lesson there is true. This practice does take us to a safe place, a place where nothing can harm us because no harm can be done. It's a place where we need not fear death because there is no death. And when I say that, I mean there is something wonderful that leaps beyond even death and birth. And the scarier that life becomes, the deeper, the more we can go there. The last scenes of the Buddha's life in the Parinibbana Sutta show the Buddha on his deathbed, and it describes in terms that Buddhists use for him mentally going to some very, very, very profound place. Now, I call it a place. I don't know if that's the right term for it because it's here, there, everywhere. Right now, it's you and me. So it's not a place we go, it's just discovering something here. And I don't know if I agree with the terms they used in the Parinirvana Sutra, and I don't know if anyone really got in the Buddha's head on his deathbed. Maybe he was just in kind of I used to work in a hospice, so I know people fade in and out, and they go to a very profound place. Maybe he was just in a very, very deep place, obviously not completely in this world anymore. And this is how the traditional Buddhists interpreted it, as his meditation. But it's true. The scarier the time, the more we have refuge in this place where truly no pipes can break. Truly, we cannot lose anything. Truly, there is nothing to fear. Truly, even birth and death are like a dream. And I'm not telling you to go there all day, and I'm not going to, tell you that you need to go there right now. It would be nice. You can visit there in your Zazen if you're having a very profound experience of dropping off body and mind. You can. I just want you to know it's there, even if it's just a matter of trust for you right now. You see, I've been there. I know this. And I can only describe it this way. Jinkan, listen to me. I know it's scary sometimes. I'm going to use one of my crazy modern analogies. In the old days, they spoke about Indra's net, and the old Huayan masters spoke of a house of mirrors because they didn't know anything about the modern cinema. But I'm going to use that, if I may. I think it's maybe the closest we can understand a little bit in our insect-like brains, a little bit what's going on in this world. When I tell you it's true. When I tell you, I post something from the Webb Space Telescope and I say, look at those stars. They're not over there. And they're not stars. They're you, and you are that. You have to develop a sense in this practice that you're not just part of this universe, and you're not just standing here looking at the tree outside, or the mote of dust on the floor in front of you, or the mountain, or the stars. You are they, and they are you. As I often say, the stars are Jinkan starring, and Jinkan is all the stars Jinkaning. Did I get that backwards? I think I did. You got my point. And it applies to every atom and every galaxy and every moment of time. So here's my Cinemax analogy. See, we find that our life is like a movie that's going on in Theater 6. You know, the Cinemax has a lot of movies in different rooms. Some are in Theater 6, some is Theater 12. You buy your ticket, you either go see Spider-Man or you go to see the romance comedy that your wife wants you to see, and you'll just go see it. But anyway, that's our life. And maybe we're just a character in the film. We're a little bit the spectator and the character. And the whole universe is somehow like this, okay? And the trouble is, when we're born, we don't realize it's kind of this film. And it's a good film. Don't get me wrong. The film is our life. I'm not telling you just to realize it's a film and walk out. You bought the ticket, ride it out, okay? I'm sorry, you're stuck. You can't go over to Theater 12 so easily when you're in Theater 6. You bought the ticket for 6. You bought the ticket for Spider-Man. Watch the Spider-Man, okay? That's it. That's your life, okay? And then the movie ends, and sometimes we're really glad it ends. I don't know why some people's movies are more difficult than others. The Buddha spoke about karma. So the movie ends, and sometimes we're really sad it ends. Or one of the characters we love in the movie vanishes, and our heart is broken. Okay? That's the story, okay? But you see, what happens in this practice is, as we sit, we realize we're not just what's going on in Theater 6, and we're not just Dick Grayson, or what was the guy's name? The editor, for the character from Spider-Man. We realize we're not. We suddenly realize that, this is kind of a light on a screen. And cutting to the bottom line, we realize we are the entire Cinemax, the whole theater. All the stories going on in all the rooms. Don't get me wrong. We are not just a character in one of the films. In the most profound sense, you are the whole theater complex, right down to the ticket machines and the popcorn and the soda pop. It's all you, friend. And when our story ends in Theater 6, maybe this is what the Buddha meant by reincarnation, rebirth, in some sense. We realize that the story in Theater 12 is us too, so even though we can't see the theater in Theater 12, yeah, that's us too. And when Theater 6, Spider-Man ends, they're done at that run, and the next story is, I don't know, Star Wars, whichever the latest one they have. Seems like they're coming out with one of those every week. That's us too. Okay? Now, I told you, our ant brains can't get our heads completely around this. The physicists talk about a multiverse. I don't know if it's the same thing or not. I suspect that the Buddha tried to explain this in as simple terms as he can, and I have no better handle on it. I'm just telling you, through this practice, we get a sense that something like I'm describing is what's going on. Okay? It's something like this. And you are the Cinemax. And maybe through this practice, we get a taste of that. So the reason I said it solves all your problems is this. Jinkan, when things get really scary, you can go so deep, so deep, and absolutely, positively, thoroughly realize yourself as the whole theater, my friend. And this theater, the life never ends, you see. It never, how to say, it's always beginning and always another movie starting, and always the 3 o'clock show is followed by the 5 o'clock show. It's always going on, and they're always making new popcorn, and it's all you and me and everything. And the scarier things get, the more our hearts are broken, the more we're afraid, we can go to this theater where, as you hear me say all the time, nothing can be lost. And it's kind of a theater that is, I don't want to say eternal life. Some people say that. There's something like that. The theater is not a dead place. It's a place of life. What's more lively than a theater filled with stories? This theater is alive, and all these stories are us, and these stories go on. Now, we don't say eternal, and it's very hard. I was just by coincidence reading the news today, and one of the great theater chains in America is going bankrupt. Okay? The only thing I can say is the Buddha seemed to profess in the Lotus Sutra and elsewhere that this theater is kind of timeless. The show never ends, my friends. You can always get a ticket. And the scarier the story gets. I told you when I was a kid and they put the horror movie on, I'd kind of close my eyes and tell myself, it's just a movie. It's just a movie. There is no vampire. It's just a movie. We can do that. That's our practice. It is just a movie. Even though it's so sad sometimes. Sometimes tragedy, sometimes comedy, sometimes that romantic comedy, which actually was not so bad, even though my wife made me go. Okay, that's enough talking for now. Boy, I really went. This is an overly long movie, my talk today, that needed an editor. I apologize. But you got my point. Zen can solve all your problems because the more there are problems, the more sometimes we can go deep and be the theater and forget the show. But finally, don't do that now. Don't do that if you don't need to. The wonderful thing about this practice, and what I tell you all the time, is we develop a way to realize it is a show and it's our story too, both at once. No, the problems will remain, the cancer will remain, the broken pipe will remain, the bad tooth and the money worries, they will remain, and the theater is always there. Realize this place of no problems, even amidst this chaotic, sometimes so hard life. It is your story. It is a film. It is the theater, and it is you. You! Now let's sit. We will now recite the verse of atonement and the 4 vows.
All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind, now I atone for them all. To save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable, to save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable, to save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable.
Well, very good. I'm very confident I've solved all your problems. So congratulations on that. And the Buddha's other lesson is during this week, also keep the greed, anger, and ignorance down, because you don't want to make your movie worse than it is. Okay? Some of it's your doing. Don't, stay gentle, stay sweet. Okay? We're going to have coffee in a second if anyone wants to stay around. Otherwise, the rest of you, what did they used to say at the end of the movie review? There was a movie review show. See you in the balcony. I wish you a good show this week. Okay? See you guys later. Love you guys. Now, I'm like the projectionist here now. I got to turn off all the projector here. 1 second. Okay, there we go. That one's done. Right? Okay, coming back here.